right, it is that time again. It is I is he, the number one podcaster on the earth, the moon, Mars, and the stars above. Good old King Firehawk. How the hell are you? Yes, I'm still alive and alive, coming to you from YouTube. King Firehawk's podcast world on YouTube. We're also, as always, on iTunes. We're on Spotify. And, of course, the Spreaker app. Download Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube today. As we're moving into a lot of different things, my crazy mind is working on all kinds of ideas. And we'll be doing some videos, some card breaks, comic breaks, wrestling swag breaks, as well as talking to you like only the one and only King Firehawk can and always does. And I'm back on Twitter. I don't know why, but I went back to it. And you can tweet me at Firehawk NJ OU812. That's Firehawk, New Jersey, OU812. Firehawk NJ OU812. And leave your comments below, as they're much appreciated, even the hate and the good, the suggestions, and the go F myselfs. Whatever you want to say here on YouTube, just leave the comments below. And there you go. That's all the things you need to know. It is I, King Firehawk, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about, first up, later on, the Firehawk Hall of Fame. We'll have a new inductee revealed right here on the show, and we look forward to that. First, King Firehawk talks my favorite addiction right now, which is the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. There's nothing better than it. Nothing better than watching the Boston Bruins, who had a great season, possibly throw it all away, as they are not getting the job done yet. Proof, as always, when you put a team to an elimination game, I don't care if it's Game 7, Game 5, Game 4, whatever the series is at in terms of win-losses. When one team is facing elimination, they are hard as hell to get rid of. And that brings me to talking today right about the one and only, my favorite series, the one that's hurting my heart, the one that makes you all angry, that I'm sure you're going to cuss me up in the comments below. It's the fact that I like the Devils and the Rangers. Let me take a swig of my beer here. Hold on. Coors Light. And some of you might be saying, Firehawk, it's a little early to be drinking the Silver Bullet, isn't it? Well, as they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. But that's a stupid saying, as I rather say, well, on the Isle of Tonga, they probably are drinking their hooch at any time they darn well feel like it, because they're tough SOBs there on the Isle of Tonga. So I treat my King Firehawk land in the great state of New Jersey like the Isle of Tonga, where we shall drink whenever we shall feel like it. For we want hooch, we will have our hooch. And that's my message to the youth of America today. Have hooch when you want it. I hope you're not bored by looking at me taking a video of the New Jersey logo on a hat. But coming down the road is King Firehawk's card breaks, comics, and wrestling swag, in which I have a cool setup that I'm working on right now for all the videos, for which we do what we usually do with the talk, as I break cards and open up comics and wrestling stuff, magazines, action figures, talk to people that are, all the cool stuff that you can't stop watching on YouTube. So we look forward to that. But here we go. I started out as a New York Ranger fan as a kid. My dad and my uncle and some of their friends. And in 1982, when I was 10 years old, here come the Devils to New Jersey. And in fact, my first Devils game ever, I got hit by the puck. It came over. I was sitting in the stands, hit me my middle finger on my left hand, immediately shattered my little middle finger. I broke it. They took me down into the training room, and I had to go to the hospital. I got the puck still to this day. After it bounced off me, this fine Samaritan gave me the puck and wanted me to have it. But I had my middle finger in a splint for months, and everyone go, "Oh, how'd you hurt yourself?" And I show them my middle finger, and basically I was giving it in the bird. And I told them I got hit by the hockey puck, which was just crazy. I still have it today. But let me explain myself, and I know you're all going to get mad, as my cousins do with me, and some of my friends. How can you root for multiple teams? In other sports, I have my teams. But in hockey, yeah, I root for multiple teams. Here's why. I have champagne taste of beer money now. Had I known, being a New York Ranger fan, to go to Madison Square Garden, which is great, would be so ridiculously expensive to never sit close and have to sit up in the rafters with the banners, I probably would never have become a Rangers fan. Even though winning the Cup in '94 was fantastic, partying at the parade was just off the charts. The journey for that and waiting all these years yet again for Rangers to do something. I love the Rangers. I have my players. Buku Boom is one of my favorites of all time. That being said, I was able to go to a lot more Devil games because the price was right. For the same price, instead of sitting up in the rafters, I could sit low. And now that I'm approaching 51 years old, when I do get out to a game, and I had a partial season ticket package this year, I was able to sit low, have a good seat, and get close access, and I loved it. I would never have that in Madison Square Garden. As I said, champagne tastes of beer money. It's like 5 times the price of the ticket. Yet, going to Devil games, I get to see every time they played the Rangers and all the other teams the Rangers play. And, and I just being in Jersey, I wanted to root for something in Jersey. I wasn't a New Jersey Nets guy when they were around. I'm not a big fan of the Rutgers programs, although I casually hope they do well. But, I always like the Devils as well. In fact, today, my favorite player in the Devils' history is Tomas Tatar, in which I have a signed hockey stick and hockey puck, courtesy of a friend of mine who's a good old King Firehawk. I will reveal that down the road on the show. But yeah, I root for both. And so your first question will be, well, who are you rooting for tonight, King Firehawk, the Devils or the Rangers? Well, first off, I'm rooting for the Rangers because I want to see a Game 7 in this series. That's first and foremost, regardless. And then when we get to Game 7, my heart's going to hurt because I want the Rangers to win. But I have a special place for the Devils. But I can't lose either way, except the fact it sucks that they got to play each other in round 1. But when they move on and down in the journey, I'll be with whoever gets there. And then my cousins remind me, well, aren't you a casual Maple Leafs fan too? I'm like, well, yeah, because when the Rangers decided to shittily trade Brian Leetch to the Maple Leafs, I was so angry at the Rangers I started following the Maple Leafs then. And followed him until he had a cup of coffee with the Bruins and started to follow the Bruins. And then, of course, I grew up loving Darren McCarty on the Detroit Red Wings, so I followed the Red Wings. And I love Ty Domi, so him going from the Rangers to Toronto, followed him there, of course. So, and I love collecting hockey jerseys. And I love this great sport of the NHL, which delivers on all occasions everything you could want, all the excitement and more. But yeah, I know I'm King Firehawk is a blankety blank for rooting for the Rangers and Devils. So go blank yourself. You fill it in. I want to know what you will fill in. Put it in on the comments below on YouTube here, as well as subscribe, and like us. I have a video up there from when I went to a New Japan Pro Wrestling Ring of Honor show at Madison Square Garden during WrestleMania weekend a few years back before the pandemic era, in which I was second row, and I was the luckiest son of a bitch to get Enzo and Cass making a run-in through the Garden. A lot of people say they didn't realize that was happening, and Bubba Dudley ran out there in the Briscoes, and they got into a fight. Over 500,000 people downloaded that video. Guess how much King Firehawk made off of that on YouTube? Absolutely nothing. I got a note. Congratulations on the downloads. But apparently, it's not just downloads, although I appreciate downloads. You got to subscribe and like and all this garbage in order to get paid, laid, and made with YouTube, I guess. I don't know. But please, if you like it or hate me, so I'll give you more things to hate. And if you like me, I'll give you more things to like. So subscribe, like, and download the show, as we will constantly remind everyone and browbeat you. We had the audio version of the show that's always been around since I was podcasting before podcasting was a thing. And now I'm entering the YouTube video portion of it, and we're just getting started, and I have a lot of ideas, so just enjoy. Enjoy thy voice, not thy image. Okay? Would you rather be deaf, dumb, and blind? Well, I don't know, but I think it's good to hear things. It's okay to be dumb. I don't know, blind would suck. But being deaf is probably the worst of the three on some level. I mean, especially later on. If you had sight and hearing, and one of them went, I think hearing would be the worst thing. I don't know. What do you think? Put in the comments below. Anyhow, I'll be rooting for the Rangers in Game 6 and in Game 7. But I want to see a war, and we're going to see one. The Rangers look like $1 million playboys getting beat up by the kids right now. As the Devils, who all season I felt owned the Rangers, mainly because the Devils played against a depleted Ranger defense all year long, where the Rangers could score at will most of the games, but their defense was hurt and never truly together. But now that they're all intact and there, they owned them in Game 1 and 2, but now all of a sudden the Devils got back to their fast speed, shots on goal. They got Shab or Shub or Shit or Shat or whatever his last name is. By the way, when I start doing card breaks, you want to be entertaining. Wait till you hear me butcher pronouncing hockey player names. Oh, good God, I can't even do a good job of that. But we will do our best in attempting to do that. So I want the Rangers to win the series, but if the Devils win, I'm going to be happy. And people will be happy, mad, glad, and sad for me all at the same time. Either way, I would like a Stanley Cup coming to New York or New Jersey in the end. I want to see Boston blow it. I think it's hilarious that they are on the brink, especially when I had some free credits the other night from one of the gambling sites where I put all free $200 site credit on the Boston Bruins to win it in 5, and they blew that game. And I'm surprised to hear, wherever you are, King Firehawk cursing from King Firehawk's man cave from my lair in New Jersey.